welcome to my channel. My name is Sandra and this doesn't happen very often, but I'm going to karaoke twice in a row this weekend. Crazy, I know. We're going to do another date night makeup karaoke look. My husband and I are going out together again, and I want to focus on another fall look. At first I was like, you know what, I was looking back on pictures on Instagram and I thought, you know, that like dark eye smoky look, I love that. Like, it looks so sexy and so good for date night, especially going to like a dark place, like where it's a little bit darker, the lighting is different. But then I thought, you know what, I need to incorporate some of more of the fall tones for autumn. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do like gold, because I haven't done that, and I'm going to try to mix in some browns. And I'm going to try this new thing where I use palettes I don't use that often. So I'm going way back to the Dominique Cosmetics palette, Latte 2. And I figured this has a lot of the pretty browns I wanted to try using here. So I've got yellow, I've got these browns. I'm specifically looking at this one, but we can play with the other colors. And for the gold, because here I am searching for a gold. No, I do not have the new gold palette released by Natasha Denona, but I will. I think I was going to mention this in the previous video last week. I haven't been focusing on makeup that much because it's been a planner thing. If you guys plan or know about planning stuff, between September and December is like a big setup. You have to buy all the planners, you have to get everything set up, especially for a content creator. It's way different than a normal person who just plans. So it's a big deal. And had to make sure everything was, you know, prepared and purchased and done and all the things. And I'm still working on those things. But now that I've got that out of the way, at the end of October, I am looking at the Sephora Rouge VIB sale. So I've got my list made. I'm adding to it and taking things off and like, okay, what do I need right now? Like, what am I out of? What do I need? What do I want to try? So those are things that are going on my list. So I've got the Natasha Gold palette, and I'm not sure if I want to try the Nude Warm palette. I mean, there's so many nudes and so many warms and so many browns and so many whatever neutrals. I'm kind of over the neutral like thing right now. I've got so many palettes. I have all of those colors already, so why do I need more? But anyway, the gold I'm going to use is, I think, the gold from the Jeffree Star Blood Money Collection palette. And this gold is very gold, very rich, and I'm going to try to use it with the other colors in the Latte 2 palette. All right, so to prep, like usual, I'm going to go in with my Caudalie Beauty Elixir. Such a good feeling. For primer, I'm going to use two new ones here. I've got my Caliray, so I'm going to use this first, just a smidge, and I'm going to fill in the pores around my nose and coming up between my eyebrows here towards my forehead and my chin. And one thing for me, like, part of me is like, I just want to spend time with my kids. I want to be home tonight. But we have Monday off. My husband is going back. My husband will be back at work, but my son has no school Monday. So I'm like, you know what? I can sleep in Monday. It's fine. I'll have some time with my kids then. Okay, another primer I'm going to go in with is a hydrating primer. This is the Patrick Star One Size Secure the Glow Tacky Hydrating Primer. So we're going to use this. It has these little like hydrating like molecule bubble things in there, so we're going to use that, and it's kind of cool when it comes out. It kind of breaks up the little bubble things and mixes all together, so it's just like this gooey ooey globule thing. So it doesn't look that good actually, so we're going to put this one everywhere. And the areas that don't take concealer, this will help like blush stick and like contour, whatever I use. All right, so next I'm going to do concealer. I have this brightening concealer by Caliray. It's actually, I thought it was like a primer, but it's actually, it's called Hideaway Brightening Hydrating Under Eye Serum Concealer. So it is, and it's in Golden Hour. It is a concealer, but it's a brightening one. So I'm going to add a little bit of that after. Going back in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Magic Touch Concealer in the shade 10. I think I'm almost running out of this, and I'm not going to use as much as I did yesterday. I think I used way too much. So just a touch. And I'm not even sure, oh, you know what? Let's put some primer on the eyes. Okay, a little bit there. I'm going to cover up the spots on my cheek. These are just the sunspots that I have here. Just right here in the inner corner, I've got quite a bit of darkness there. Again, cover up this side, cover up around my nose, bring that concealer up on this side. Make sure it's blended out nice. And now I'm also blending out my eye primer. Then what we're going to do is powder the area where I have concealer, and then I'm going to do brows off camera because I love having my brows done before I start my makeup. Just lets me see where all of the areas are that I need to like balance my face. It just looks so much better when my brows are done. So let's go in with powder. I'm going to use again the Huda Beauty Easy Bake. The stuff is so easy to use, and it just, I don't know, I just like it. I used to not be a fan of pressed powder, and I used to love loose powder. Well, actually, I go through these stages. First, I was like, yeah, pressed powder all the way. It's compact. You can pop it in, you know, a purse, and it's easy. I've got a mirror. It's just perfect. And then have like a little powder puff or whatever. And then I was like, no, loose powder is the way to go, because you see all the makeup artists using loose powder. And then I'd be back to compact and like back and forth. Like it's the same as when I got my standard, my Jeep, and I'm like, oh, I hate driving standard. I love driving standard. Couldn't make up my mind. And now I'm back to loving it. Okay, so brows next. We'll be right back. Guys, so normally what I do is I do like face first, but I'm gonna do eyes first today. I'm gonna line my water lines. I'm going to use the same black pencil that I did yesterday. To you guys, it would have been last week. It's the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in 100 whatever black. I want a darker eye look, but I also want to accentuate it with warmer browns and golds. So we'll see what it looks like in the end. It's a work in progress. I have no idea how it's going to turn out, and it's so exciting. Okay, so I realized, I lined my eyes, but I realized I forgot to put the brightening concealer on, but that's fine. I probably could use it, but I've already powdered, so I'm just going to skip that step. I'm going to go into the Latte palette. I'm going to take my trusty liner brush here. This is like a really wide liner brush. I'm going to stamp it in the shade of Coffee Beans. Totally suitable because for October, I chose to do a coffee theme in my planner. It's also International Coffee Day on the 1st of October. So there you go. I'm going to stamp this onto the lower lash line. I don't usually do lower lash line until I'm done the look, but I really like this color. And we're going to blend this out. I'm not just putting this like thick dark line here, so I'm going to blend it out with gold and see how that looks with that gold from Jeffree Star palette. Okay, and then to warm things up, I'm going to start with the gold here in the palette. I think what will look really, really good is if I have a nice transition. We're going to bring the gold up quite high. And I really like this Cafe Con Leche color because it helps to blend things out. It's a light enough color that it will work. And I can't remember which brushes I used from yesterday, so I'm going to use my Sigma Switch here to clean off my brush, just in case, because I don't remember if I use this one or not. So it's going into Blonde Roast. I love this coffee theme. I'm applying it above the crease, and I'm going to warm up the eye area with this color, because if this works out in my favor and it goes the way I want it to go, that yellow is going to kind of be matchy-matchy with the gold on the lid and on the lower lash line, even though this is a matte color and it's not a metallic or a sparkle. So we will deepen up the crease with a different color after. And I think what I'd also like to do is add some of this color on the lower lash line as a starting point for the gold. So I'm using the same brush and just blending out that brown a little bit. Just a smidge. just to get some of the color down there. And then we're going to go a smaller brush. This is an E27. The first one I was using is an E24 diffused blend. Okay, so the E27 needs to be cleaned. And now we're going to go into Cafecito, which is more of a warmer red brown tone. I'm going to use this in the crease, start kind of right under the high point of my brow, right into that deep area of my crease. I'm going to kind of keep my eye open so I can kind of see what I'm doing, and then blending it up and out. So what you're going to see is a super defined crease. And I think for people who have a less of a deep eye socket, like for me it's easy because I have that deep eye socket, but for somebody who doesn't, and you're like this part of the eye kind of overhangs the lid, you kind of have to create your own crease, and the best way to do that is a cut crease. And I can't really pull that off because my lid doesn't touch my upper brow, but there are lots of good tutorials for it, and one of the best is Angela Bright's. She does usually like a half cut crease, which looks amazing. So I would suggest following a tutorial by her because she really knows what she's doing. But you just have to search like cut crease Angela Bright, and then all of her videos about that will come up. And I'm sure she's got a lot. I mean, I watched her years ago, probably like 4 or 5 years ago, and because I was kind of getting into makeup and I wanted to learn more about it, and she had a lot of videos on that. Okay, so I think I got it where I want it. So I'm going to go back into that first brush that I was using, going back, not adding any new color on the brush, but I'm just making sure that blend is really, really nice. I'll bring it down around. All right, and then I think I want to add some of the darker color. So this is Coffee Beans, again, like I had on the lower lash line. Adding this color on the outside corner of my eye. And we're going to go varying degrees because I want to add some in the middle. And actually what would look really, really amazing right now, and I could because my eyelid is still fully like light colored. I could do a halo eye. That would look cool too. I wonder if I should do that. Let's do that. Halo eye. So halo eye is achieved by putting dark on the outer corner and dark on the inner corner. And then you put a transition color on the middle of the lid, so right in the center, right above your pupil. And you can kind of do like an angle if you want, or you can do straight up and down. Sometimes the angle looks best. Completely up to you though. But it's important that you jam pack that darkness right into the corner, which is so anticlimactic. It's something opposite of what I always do, right? Like I always keep the inner corner light and bright, and I always brighten it up. You can still brighten the inner corner, but it's important to have the darkness there as a contrast if you want to do a halo eye. So here I'm just attaching the top darkness area to the lower, just to make sure that they are connected. Okay, so there you have it. You can see like that really bright center part on my lid. Now we're going to go in with the gold. Another thing that you could do that would really showcase this, I think I'll be okay, but you could go in with a concealer, put it right on the middle, and then you can kind of blend it out with your finger and then add color because then it's really going to pop. But I think this is going to be okay. This is almost a greenish gold. I wonder if I should go in with a bit warmer of a shade. Definitely a green gold. I might have to go in with a different palette. I'll put this in as a base because it's really going to help pop. Okay, so I need to find another palette that has something that's a bit of a warmer tone. Okay, I'm just gonna see if I can go into the Orgy palette and see if I can tone down that gold. So I've got Champagne Drip, Gagging, and Soaking Sun, which is more of a bronze color. I'm gonna try these shades here and just go in with my finger and go over top the gold. See if this kind of tones it down a bit. And then I'm going to like use my finger and blend it a little bit into the side color, the darker brown here. I think it's going to help balance it a little bit more when we do the lower lash line. Okay, so I'm going to use a smaller brush. This is a small tapered blending brush, and I'm going to try going in with like a mix between these two shades. I used this palette yesterday, so I'm like jumping in to this palette a little bit because I just want to warm things up. I feel like I went too dark brown, and while I like that, I just think it's not very warm. I'm looking for kind of like fall autumn colors, and this is not giving that. So I'm blending it into the gold a little bit just so it's not like, kind of using my finger to blend the gold. And I don't want this like really bright gold inner corner or like inner part. I want it to be blended a bit. So again, going into this eye, just lightening up the inner corner and the outer corner, and then blending that gold out with my finger. Okay, I think that's better. I think that looks pretty good. And then we need to go in and find gold as well and put it on the lower lash line, and I'm going to blend it out. So I might mix, let's see what kind of gold we have here. I also have like this sparkle. I'm using all these palettes here. The Morphe Jeffree Star palette. So this, you can't buy this anymore, but unless you can find it online. There's like this sparkle color right here, and it's like literally gold sparkles. I'm just going to see if I can add some on the upper lash or the lid and just see what that looks like. Not sure if I actually like that. Now we have to do it to the other eye. Okay. I'm not going to do that to the lower lash line, I don't think. I think that's good. I mean, once I put lashes on and line my eyes, it's not going to look quite the same. But you can definitely see the gold, and I really like the halo eye look. Okay, so now what we're going to do, I think, is a little bit of bronzer instead of contour, because I've been contouring a lot lately. And maybe, I don't know, do I want to do both? I like the idea of adding a little bit of bronzer with some shimmer, so I'm going to go in with my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. So I use the Westman Atelier. This is the Face Trace Contour Stick in Biscuit, so maybe I will do a little bit of contour. Can't go too high up on my forehead because this is like not bronzy at all, and my forehead and my temples are really bronzed. We're just going to blend this out, okay, which is why I'm going to add a little bit of this bronzer on top. So it's going to even out that contour a little bit. I'm going to warm up the sides of my face where that contour is. A little bit on the nose. And because the contour was a kind of a creamy color, this is really going to pick up, those areas will pick up the bronzer more. Let's warm up the face, but I still got that nice contour. I'm going to go into the Rosa Sigma palette. This is for blush, and I've got this beautiful color called Bronze Star right here, and I've also got this one called Senorita, and the Senorita is going to look really pretty. This has a little bit more of a mauve tone, or a mauve tone if you live in the States. I call it mauve. That's the color I call it. But I also like this one here. That is Rosa. Maybe the middle one. Let's see. I like the shimmer in the other two. I'm just going to do all three of them. Shucks, guys, I can't stop myself. So we're going to go up the cheekbone. I love blush. It's my favorite thing in the world. Love it, love it, love it. Except for planners. It's probably my favorite. And then blush. Add some of the nose, the chin, the forehead. Why not everywhere? It's blush. It doesn't need to just go on your cheeks. Who are we kidding? Okay, pile that blush on. And then what I do is I take a big fluffy brush and I blend out this weird line here so that it doesn't show. We don't want a weird line. So we blend. And I think I'm going to do a nude lip again. I really like nude lips. Maybe I'll do a bit darker of a nude lip. Maybe I'll do gold. Do I even have gold? I don't know. I don't think I do. I'm going to spray my face quick here before liner. We will do highlighter. I think we'll do a gold highlighter too for funsies. So I'm going to line my upper lash line. Of course, I use my favorite one. I've got a bunch. I probably should start using those. I go to my Too Faced Better Than Sex because it's like my hands down favorite liner. So I'm going to line that quickly. Okay, now we're going to do mascara quick. And then we're going to do lashes. We'll come back. We'll do lips and highlighter and maybe more blush because I already feel like it's a little faded. So let's take a look after lashes are applied. Okay, so I think I'm just going to put this over top the lip liner. So the lip liner is Love Bite. And I always start with Bite Me, which is a little bit of a darker shade. So I'm going to do that first. I'm just going to see what this looks like with the lip gloss right over top of it. This is 100 degrees. Okay, I think that looks perfect. It's a neutral color. It looks really good. I could use a little bit of gold lip gloss on top of it. I don't think I actually have a gold, but I do have Jeffree Star. I think this is like the bronze color. That might be okay. It is Pretzel Drip. So I'm just going to see what this looks like with a little bit on the center of the lip. It gives a little bit of sparkle, so that's pretty. So I might layer those two colors. Okay, so I'm going to go put lashes on. I'll be right back. Okay guys, lashes are on. I think they look amazing. I think things are going really, really well. Add my highlighter now. I'm going to use, this is my Shimmer and Strobe highlighting palette by Flower Beauty. I haven't lasted or used this for a long time. I did get this from Ulta like 4 or 5 years ago and I still have it, but it's amazing. It's probably one of the best highlighters I own. I'm going to go into the gold color. This is why I picked this highlight in the first place. Tap off the brush and add this bright gold to the inner corner. And like just, it's so pretty and it shows up so well. And this is a really relatively like inexpensive highlighter. Okay, going in with my larger brush now, highlighting the tip of my nose. The bridge of my nose. And a little bit between the brows, cheekbones, a little bit on the chin, and then what we're going to do is go back in with my blush brush with the same color, not adding any new product, and then just blending that highlight in and blending the cheeks and adding a little bit more color because I just feel like that blush always just comes right off. All right, and I think that's it. One more coat of setting spray and then we're all done. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up if you are new or have not yet subscribed. I would love if you would consider doing that. It would help me out so much. Also, click the bell button to be notified when I upload new videos, usually every Monday, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye. Happy date night.